What is going on, guys? Jesse here. So Sony just released their brand new WH1000xM5s, the latest iteration in their crazy popular line of premium noise canceling headphones. And honestly, I'm still pretty surprised about how popular these have gotten, considering that they probably have the worst names of any product line I've ever seen. But I guess the fact that they have gotten so popular despite this says that the product speaks for itself. So with this new version, they've made a couple of big changes and also a couple of minor ones as well that I'll get into in a sec, but one of the main ones being the price. So these are now retailing for $400, which in a world where pretty much everything seems to be getting more expensive, I guess no big surprises here, but I think it's pretty significant because it puts it dangerously close in price to these guys, the Airpods Max, which are my current favorite noise canceling headphones. So these retail for $550, which I know is insane, but since they've been out for a while at this point, you can find them regularly for much less than that. So in this video, we're going to be comparing these two headphones to each other, and hopefully by the end, you'll have a better idea of which one is the better fit for you. So we're going to start this off by talking about the design and build of these headphones. And I gotta say, as far as looks go, I think both of these are really good looking headphones. But if I had to choose one, I would probably go with the Airpods Max. I'm just a really big fan of these anodized aluminum cups, and the way that the light reflects and diffuses off of them looks really clean and futuristic to me. But I also gotta say that this kind of stone colorway that the Sonys come in is really sick as well. They had these on the last version as well, and I'm so glad that they brought it back for these. And especially compared to last year's version, the new XM5s look a lot more just modern and clean in my opinion, and I'm a big fan. But again, coming back to the Airpods Max, they just look and feel a lot more premium all around, and I feel like both of these headphones are kind of going for that minimal modern aesthetic, but the Airpods Max just do it better in my opinion. Like for example, with the way that they attach the ear cups to the headphones, you can see that the Sonys, they also tried to get that sort of hidden hinge look, but if you look in there, you can still see all the moving components and everything. But with the Airpods Max, everything is just a lot nicer and more well hidden. And I also just really like how the Airpods Max are much lower profile when you're actually wearing them. Like you can see when I put them on, they just come out a lot less on the head than the Sonys do. So I'll put these on and you can kind of see the difference where the ear cups just hang a lot farther off your head. And I don't know, I saw my reflection in the mirror while wearing the Sonys the other day and I was like, oh my god, those are some big headphones. Now all of the metal and premium materials that they used on the Airpods Max do come at a cost though, and one is, well, of course, a couple more dollars, but also weight. So I've got a scale here and I'll just put it right here so you guys can see. So the Airpods Max come in, hold on, I'm gonna try to see how I can fit this on here without, oh boy. Okay, that's on there as good as I can get it. But yeah, you can see 386 grams, and now the Sonys come in at 250, so significantly lighter. And I gotta say, like when you're actually wearing these on your head, you can definitely feel it. So the last thing about the design and build of these that I want to address is going to be, I guess, portability. And I don't want to give either of these a win because these are both very hard to travel with just because of how big they are, and they also both don't fold either, which is a big downgrade with the Sonys from the last version. So here are the cases that they both come with, and as you guys can see, the Airpods Max case is a little bit smaller, but it does have the downside that it doesn't really protect them like at all. Like the entire headband is exposed, and here the corners where I would assume the most scuffing would happen is entirely exposed. So not a big fan of this case, but then we get to the Sonys and you can see that they do cover the entire headphone and protect them very well, but it's just very large. So again, I don't want to give a win to either of these in this situation just because they're both really hard to travel with. I will say though that one thing I like about the Airpods Max case is that you don't have to adjust the headband length to get it in. And I have a big head, so with pretty much any headphone that I have to adjust it to pretty much the maximum length. And with Airpods Max, they're always just ready to go at that length, and I can just put them on. And because this is also how you turn them on and off, which does on the surface seem pretty stupid, it does also mean that you don't have to press and hold an on button every time you take them out of the case and want to use them. They're just ready to go as soon as you put them on your head. While with the Sonys, we've got a much more traditional case where we've got a kind of molded area where the headphones are supposed to sit, and that's with the headband at minimum length. So if someone like me has a big head and wants to put these on, I've got to spend an extra couple of seconds lengthening them before they're in the right position, and then I have to press the power on button. And the second thing is going to be the material of the cushions. So the Sonys are using this really soft faux leather that honestly is probably one of the nicest that I've felt in a headphone, and the AirPods Max are using this kind of like nylon fabric that also feels really nice. And for the most part, both of these are fine, and the faux leather actually does have the advantage that if you sweat on it, you can just wipe it off, while the fabric just kind of absorbs. My issue with the faux leather, and this is not exclusive to the Sonys, but any headphone that uses this material, is that the leather kind of sticks to my skin. Since it's kind of clinging on, like I just feel it gripping on and kind of pinching sometimes, and it gets pretty uncomfortable. Now, it is very minor, but it's still there, and it's something that doesn't happen with the fabric ear cups on the AirPods Max, because everything just slides And around. The last major factor towards comfort is going to be with the headband. So with the Sonys, again, we've got that super nice fake leather and some decent amount of cushioning on it as well. My issue with the headband, though, is just that it's just too thin. And over time, I really did start to feel pressure on top of my head where the headband was, and it got pretty uncomfortable. So with the AirPods Max, we've got this sort of mesh canopy suspension thing that I'm a pretty big fan. Like putting these side by side, you can see just how much thicker the AirPods Max headband is, and it distributes that force a lot better. And I found that with the AirPods Max, I can wear these pretty much forever and not feel any kind of pressure points. So overall, I just found the AirPods Max to be a lot more comfortable, other than the weight. And even on that front, I found the weight to not really be that much of an issue, just because I guess my neck got stronger or something as I wore these more, but it really doesn't bother me. And I found that I can wear the AirPods Max pretty much indefinitely, while with the Sonys, there's like a hard cap where I'm like, get these off my head. I will say though that the weight reduction on the Sonys is really nice though, just because when the AirPods Max are on your head, you can really feel it, and every time you turn, you can feel the extra mass that's attached to your head, and it's not a great feeling. Well, with the Sonys, they're so light, they really do almost feel like nothing. Now, moving on to features, one of the main reasons that you'd probably be thinking about picking either of these up is going to be active noise cancellation. And I am happy to report that both of these are just incredible on that front. Both top of the line, and you should be happy with either of these in that area. But if I did have to choose one, it would probably be the Sony. I just want to make it clear though that the difference, if there is any, is very slight. Like even trying these on back to back, it was very hard to tell which one is better, but I think the Sonys do have a slight edge. And I think the Sonys were also a lot better with that kind of pressure feeling that is associated with strong ANC. So if you're really sensitive to that feeling, maybe the Sonys will be a lot better for you. Now, along with ANC, we've got transparency mode or ambient sound mode, whatever you want to call it. But basically, the headphones will use the mics to pump in sound instead of block it out. And in this area, I've got to say that the AirPods Max are a lot better. Like, they just really sound like real life. It's incredible. And it's especially impressive how they're able to localize sounds. Like, if a sound is happening behind you, it'll actually sound like it's behind you, not just like all around. While the Sonys are fine and they'll get the job done, they do sound a lot more tinny and just a lot more artificial. These also both have media controls for you to use. The AirPods Max are super simple. You just get two buttons, one for volume, play, pause, skip, reverse, and all that, and the other for transparency mode and active noise cancellation. While with the Sonys, you've also got two buttons, one for on and off, one for ambient sound control, and noise cancellation. But these surfaces on the sides are also both touch controls, which actually work very well, and I prefer it over the double and triple tapping that you'd have to do on the AirPods Max. Now, as far as battery life goes, with the AirPods Max, you got a max charge of 20 hours with a quick charge feature of 5 minutes for 1.5 hours of playtime. While with the Sonys, with a 3-minute charge, giving you 3 hours of playtime. So clearly not much to be said here. Sony's definitely take the win here, and also recharge via USB-C versus Lightning. So all around battery charging, Sonys are much better. Okay, so like last big feature I want to talk about is going to be multi-point connection. So both of these allow you to connect to multiple devices. So with the Sonys, you can connect up to 2 devices at a time, anything that has Bluetooth. While with the AirPods Max, you can connect like as many devices as you want, as long as they're Apple devices. I would say, like, in practice, the whole connection process of using the Sonys to connect to multiple devices felt very clunky and awkward, and honestly, like, I just didn't want to do it. While with AirPods Max, the whole process was very simple because you really don't have to do anything. It basically just automatically detects which device you're actually using and then connects to that one. So super nice, seamless experience, which is great when it works. But if for whatever reason it can't figure out which one you're actually using, it is pretty much impossible to get it to switch to the one you actually want manually. So that was, I guess, like most of the main features. Now the Sonys do come with a ton more features, and it comes with an app as well that lets you customize just about everything. Like, you can see that we've got this status here where it'll detect what you're doing. Like right now I'm staying, pretty accurate, and when you're walking it'll say walking, and if you're on the bus it'll say like transport or something like that. Pretty cool. Sound, like ambient sound, you can control with like 20 levels of precision which level of ambient sound control you want. Speak to chat, which is just if you start talking, it'll pause your music and turn on transparency mode so you can hear whoever you're speaking to, which is super cool. EQ, and just a ton of other stuff. I'm not going to get into it here because there's just so many. It's pretty cool, but I would say that for the most part, you're not going to use about 90% of it, and I think what I mentioned is most of the important ones. So with that out of the way, let's get into the mic test. Okay, so the audio you're hearing now should be coming from the mics on the Sony WH1000X Mark Vs. And honestly, still hate that name, hate how I have to say it every time. But yeah, this is what the mics sound like. Hopefully they sound pretty good. Let me know. Okay, and the audio you're hearing now should be coming from the mics on the AirPods Max. Let me know if they sound better or worse than the Sonys and how you guys feel about that. Okay, and last but not least, let's talk about the sound. So I just want to say that both of these sound very, very good. And I think the Sonys have more bass if you're into that. And while the AirPods Max are still a bassy headphone, I do think that they keep it much better controlled than the Sonys. Like, I think the mid-range is a lot less muddled on the AirPods Max than the Sonys, and especially with vocals, they tend to come across as a lot more crisp and clean than on the Sony. And that's also not to say that there's anything wrong with liking a lot of bass. Like, if that's what you like, then I think the Sonys are going to serve you very well. It's just, that's not what I'm looking for, and I think if I had to describe the sounds of both of these, it would just be that this has a little bit more bass, and this one is a little bit better in the mid-range. So there you go. So overall, I would say that these are both really great headphones, and I think if you're in the market for a premium wireless noise-canceling headphone, then both of these should be at the top of your list. And I think the decision of which one to go for really comes down to how deep into the Apple ecosystem. So I think if you are part of the Apple ecosystem or just primarily plan to use these with an iPhone, the AirPods Max are the way to go. I just really appreciate the better build quality, better sound, and just the better comfort. But if you're not in the Apple ecosystem, a lot of that just gets thrown out the window because you can't really use these to their maximum potential anyways. So in that case, these Sonys start to make a lot more sense. They still sound really good, pretty comfortable, very well built, and have a much better battery life. So if that's what you're concerned about, then yeah, Sony's all the way. Anyways, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Like if you liked it, sub if you loved it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace!